Hey guys, what's up? Zach here from Metalhead Mutt Homebrew. It's just a very quick video where I thought I'd have a brief chat about whether or not you can use tap water to brew your own beer. I want to make it clear from the start, this is not a video about water chemistry, brewing salts, target water profiles, that sort of thing. Although that is very important and is well worth looking into for a beginner, it's just not necessary. You can make good beer without doing that. So this is aimed towards sort of beginners looking to do their first brew who are wondering about water. In short, yes, you can use tap water to brew your beer, and you might get very, very good results doing that. But what you've got to remember is that wherever you are in the country or the world, everywhere has completely different tap water with different mineral contents, which dictate how well it works for beers. You might find that you can brew a really good beer style in one area, but in that same area it doesn't work for another beer style. You might find an area that works well for all beer styles, or it might not work at all. So what you probably should start by doing is contacting your water company. They'll give you a rundown of exactly what's in that water, the mineral contents, but bear in mind that that is subject to change. You're never going to get the same water twice from your water company. And then finally, you could just have a go with your tap water and see how it turns out. It may be that it works well, but my advice to you would be, from the start, use bottled water. I'll explain why in a minute through my own personal experience, but Tesco Ashbeck bottled water, you can buy 30 litres of it for about £5, so it only adds a tiny amount onto your brew day cost. But it can make the world of difference because it's constant, it's always the same. There's no chlorine, anything like that in it, no funny flavours, and it just works. You can then build a water profile off that as well if you wanted. So my personal experience, when I first started out, I read a lot on the internet about tap water, and the general consensus was if it tastes alright, you can brew with it. Possibly true, didn't work for me. I thought my tap water tasted fine, couldn't notice anything funny in it, so I brewed 3 beers with it as it was. 3 different styles. I brewed a porter, I brewed a bitter, and I brewed an American style IPA. All went well brew day wise, but they all tasted exactly the same at the end. You couldn't get much malt character at all. The hops were really muted, you could barely taste them. And they all had the same strange flavour that I couldn't quite put my finger on at the time. I was very new to it, so it didn't occur to me how important water was. It sounds silly, but didn't think about it. I was thinking of all sorts of reasons why I was getting these same flavours, and then finally it dawned on me it might be the water. So the next brew, I bought a load of brewing salts and went the whole 9 yards and tried to target a specific water profile, thinking that would solve the problem. It didn't. Still tasted exactly the same at the end. So I was pretty certain by that point that water was the main factor. So went out and bought a load of Tesco Ashbeck water. Before I even brewed, I did a taste test. I got a bit of tap water in a glass, a bit of Tesco Ashbeck. And bearing in mind, I thought there was no funny flavours in my water, and I thought it tasted great. The difference between the two was unbelievable. The Tesco water tasted so much better than mine. Mine didn't taste nasty, but it definitely had an off flavour in it. And as soon as I did the taste test, I could tell it was the same off flavour that was in my beer. So my next brew, I did with the Tesco Ashbeck. I did do water treatment because I was into it at that point. So I targeted a profile off the Tesco water. But the difference was night and day. The beer was so much better. I could taste all of the malts, I could taste the hops, I could tell exactly what I'd brewed, what I'd put in, and it just made the world of difference. So in short, my advice would be use the bottled water, spend the extra £5-6. You might get lucky, your tap water will be great, but if you don't, you end up with a beer that you're not really that happy with. You've wasted more money than you would have if you spent £5 extra with the good water. So yeah, have a go with your tap water, but I would advise you just to skip it and go straight down the bottled water route, even if you think your water tastes fine. Hopefully that helps somebody. Thank you.